to be, I mean, look at the show. Obviously, it speaks for itself. To be a staple. When we're watching rock stations drop like flies.
Yeah.
But there's a couple that are just mighty.
Yeah, JJO,
stronger than ever. Yep.
And then the Blitz. I think there's just a few left.
It's getting crazy.
I know. And
I've watched the scene
live.
change so much. I've watched it change so much. And you know what? Radio is so local that I just don't understand it, because whenever we come through somewhere and there's a great rock station supporting the show, and you know, we always like to work with our partners. We like to buy spots. We like to do the right thing.
Yeah.
The shows are massive.
Yeah.
And then you roll into some of these places that have no rock.
It's all syndicated stuff, and nobody shows because nobody knows who they are. They're talking about Wisconsin, and they live in Ohio, or
exactly.
They're talking about New York or California. It's like, I'm an Ohio girl. I'm Columbus. Why
Radio.
don't I know what's going on
People love their stage. They love their DJs. They love their on-air personalities. I can't even listen to radio in some places when it's like just song after song after song.
Yeah.
You fall in love with the characters and the personalities.
And true too, like, you know, when you're in town and you get to know these people and you hear them, you go, oh my God, they went to such and such a club. I was just there yesterday too. I was at that show.
Of course.
It's the connection of the same places you go eat, you go to a movie theater.
That's why you wanted to get into this too. It's like you want to get into this to be someone who speaks and connects with the people, and now they're trying to eliminate everything from music. They're trying to eliminate. It's unbelievable. Next, they're trying to do virtual reality concerts. It's crazy the amount of lack of respect that you guys have for your hard work and that we have for the hard work we put in. They're trying to literally diminish it to a point of.
This is one of the few places, though, that we don't feel disrespected at all by either the listeners, the management, like
that's
fans
great.
themselves.
That's great.
We live in a bubble here.
Yeah,
that's good. You want to be in that bubble, because the outside world, when I listen to, like, you go to the top 40 stations just in Las Vegas, it's not a DJ on there. It's like a machine that says new music, and then it just plays music nonstop. There's not one guy I can name or a on-air personality you can name from that, because it's like the same 6 songs programmed in and no DJ.
There's no connection for a listener at all.
It's awful.
Yeah. I mean, and once they broke Nuber and I out of jail, I mean, they had reign of 2 people to come on and just do whatever they
They get
needed.
expensive after a while, but, you know, they're
I like it.
They're pretty forgiving. Tess, you got this? Are you rolling?
I am. However, it keeps shorting out.
Okay.
What's shorting out our mics?
It's a remote one, but I have my finger on it. Anytime that happens, if I go up and down with it, it comes back.
Oh, cool.
Okay, cool.
So that sounds sexual. I like the idea there.
Oh, yes. Thanks, Ronni. Woo!
Sweet.
Woo!
So I think we're good. So if you want to roll, Ronni,
whenever you're ready,
away.
guys.
Go ahead.
3, 2, and 1. It's the Great Summer Smokeout, the 5th annual, as we celebrate 25 years of the Blitz. Just talking to Rick DeJesus from Adelitas Way about how the Blitz being around for 25 years is just so different, because you travel the country and you are in different cities and stuff, and there's just no local radio anymore.
It's so significant, and it just shows that if you have the right, it's not a formula. If you have the right people behind a great rock station, if you have the right personalities, you have the right staff, it could create a community of listeners, fans, that builds a stable for rock bands to come through and put on great shows and get the community behind rock and roll music.
It's crazy because, you know, as we spoke earlier off mic about the fact that the Blitz has been around 25 years old, I like to think as well that there are listeners that weren't even alive when we first got on the air. I mean, there are people that are 15, 20, 22, 24 years old that weren't here when we first started, and that just doesn't happen across the country.
Not at all. When we go across the country, it's a lot of desolation. It's a lot of, this station flipped the country. Radio stations are just trying to flip to whatever the coolest thing at the moment is. Oh, and it's a new hip-hop station now. It's like, how do you abandon your listeners like that? How do you go from a station, everything that rocks? How do you believe someone that's saying that for 3 or 4 years, and then one day you wake up and they're playing Garth Brooks?
Right.
It's why it didn't work. You know, it's because it was never real.
Yep.
The Blitz was real.
Yeah.
You can see it. Look at this show. Look at us turn out. We're gonna have a sold-out show tonight.
For sure.
With our friends in Hailstorm and the Sick Puppies. It's beautiful.
And they were like, hell yeah,
and
dude, we got you, man.
Had success.
That's amazing. That's an amazing story. And the fact that you continue to do that to this day.
It's stations like the Blitz who've believed in us and continue to play our music. We're writing our best songs. I've written every Adelitas Way song ever known. That's why we can deal with member changes, because from album 1 to album 5, I've written every piece of music that comes through this band. Whether it's guitar, vocals, all of it.
Yeah.
You know, and then I bring it to Trevor and he drums on it. And that's how this band operates.
Yeah.
So that's why the songs, even though you go through your ups and downs. They continue to either get strong. You know, Bad Reputation was the first song we released on our label. You guys jumped behind that, played it. Yep. Look what we did with that. We sold 100,000 singles on that song. We have 4 million streams in a year on that song. Our independent album sold 30,000 records.
Isn't that crazy?
It's
and
unbelievable.
Then you got all these labels that want to take a piece of that pie, and
it's not a piece. It's all of it.
And the artist is left with nothing and owing money.
Nothing.
Which is crazy.
There are bands that are significantly bigger than us that envy the lifestyle that I live because of the ownership I have in my. You know, they walk into my house and they're like, "How do you have this house?" I'm like, "Look, man, we took different paths.
Yeah.
We took different paths." That system is built on fame. If you want to be famous and everybody knows who you are, you trade in all the monetary. You trade the money in for that.
Yeah.
You know, people will know who your band is. You know, I've seen some record deals. I'm not going to name bands, but these bands send me their deals. They say, "Rick, what do you think of this deal?" I look at it and I say, "I think this is robbery.
Yeah.
I would never sign this deal." You know.
Yeah.
And we get record deal offers on a regular basis, still to this day. For major labels are still hovering over us, seeing what we're doing right now, and I have to. And when I kindly say thanks but no thanks, it makes them matter.
Yeah,
it makes them want to bury us. It makes them want to bury us. It makes them say, "We don't like what these guys are doing. We got to stop this."
Rick, let me ask you a question. You started out with Virgin, and then you went away from them. Do you think it's possible to do what you did without the help of Virgin initially?
No, that's why you got to play the game the right way. I don't. I think you have to build a little bit of a fan base. If you do that route, if you have no fan base and you start a new band, you have to eat crow for the first. You have to buy on the tours. You have to get out there. You have to impress fans. The reason we're able to do what we're able to do is because our fans. We have amazing fans. We can play anywhere in the United States, any day of the week. We did shows on 6 days' notice on this last tour. Pop-up shows. Hey, we're going to play Knoxville, Tennessee.
Yeah.
We're going to promote the show starting 5 days from now. And we brought 150 people.
Easy.
You know what I'm saying? If you give us a month, you give us a station like the Blitz, we'll put 800 people in a room. We'll put 1,000 people in a room.
Yeah.
Adelitas way. Independent band, DIY. We do it all over the place. It's amazing.
And, you know, and it's crazy, too, because, you know, you guys can travel around the country and you can play big festivals and be a part and fit right into all that. Like with Rock on the Range, you guys were in town. Remember, we had you up on our main stage at Rock on the Range. And then you can play a show like at Express Live, and you can play a show like the Newport Music Hall or a smaller venue and just rock it out no matter what.
Look, we want to be involved with our teammates. We see you guys as partners, teammates. Rock on the Range, I've been blessed to be on that festival, Carolina Rebellion, Rock on the Range. I've been blessed to work with them for years, but because we're DIY, they don't like us anymore. They don't want to deal with a DIY band. They're very corporate operated. We're trying to make it so our statistics force them into having us back at this point.
Yeah.
You know, every single song we put out at this point gets millions of streams out the box, blowing away some of the acts that have the whole force behind them. We're putting tracks out the same time with these bands and rolling right with them.
Yeah, you are. And like with the newest album, with Notorious and Ready for War, I want to kind of ask you a little bit, not just about that particular song, but kind of the song process. Are you a guy that writes do you write the music and then you think of lyrics that kind of match it? Or do you think of the lyric and then you find some music you think of some music?
Most of the time I write the chorus first with the main lyric of the song.
Right on.
And then I build it around. I paint a picture. I like to close my eyes and think about what I feel and how I can connect with the fans, and I put it all together, and I try to be honest and true to myself. And sometimes I take bold risks that some people may not like. Some people may listen to some of the songs and it may come off a certain way that they don't like, but I don't care.
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter to me. I write what I write. I just follow my gut, follow my heart, and do what I was put here to do. I was put here to create music, to create songs, to perform for people. There's no other job I was meant to do. That's why it doesn't matter what team surrounds me. It doesn't matter who's pushing our stuff. What matters is when the fans hear the records that we make, the songs that I write,
the live shows that we put on. Awesome stuff.
They continue to come out and support it. And when you have the support of the fans, anything is possible.
That's right.
Anything is possible.
Oh my God, high five me on that. That's the shit. What you just said right there is right on the money, man. Yeah. For sure.
They are everything. It doesn't matter what record label you're on. It doesn't matter who your manager is. All it matters is if the fans like you or not. And they like us.
And 6:15, they're going to be rocking balls when you guys hit the stage at Express Live.
Look, we're playing with great bands. And I guarantee, I will say this, I'm friends with all these bands. everybody's going to step up their show tonight because they know we're on this bill.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that right now.
For
These
sure.
guys know us, and they know what's coming.
It's coming.
And it's going to be a great night.
In.
We're all going to push each other. I think Lizzie's one of the greatest singers I've ever heard in my life, and she's going to be the best version of herself tonight because she knows who else is on this show. We got great artists on this show.
Yeah, this is going to be a solid, and for sure a sellout because the weather's perfect. We already had most of the tickets sold, just minus a couple hundred, so the walk-up's going to be crazy. We're currently broadcasting live from the A&R Music Bar next door. This is our Columbus Car Audio and Accessories pre-gaming party, so we're going to grab a couple of beverages. I just want to know, Nuber, do you have any questions for Rick?
No, Rick is great. I'm just listening and enjoying every moment of it.
I do have a couple more quick questions I will ask you. If you had an autobiography, what would the title of it be?
I don't think I can have an autobiography because I have kids.
Oh.
You know?
That's honestly, the best answer ever.
Honestly. I've thought about that. If I were to write a book, I'd probably end up not disappointing my kids, but I think it would set not a bad example, but I'm too rebellious.
I gotcha.
You know, I'm getting older now, but if you go back from year 1 to now, there's some wild stuff.
So with that in mind, if you were to describe your career to a child, how would you word that? You're smiling.
I would say, I'd tell my daughter, Daddy did his thing and he lived the dream. I lived the dream. I did it. Doesn't matter if it's the 70s or 80s. People complain and talk about what it was like back then being a rock star, but I've had countless moments where I felt on top of the world. I felt like I was living the dream. It doesn't matter the state of the music business. I told you, it's all about the fans. It's all about what people feel in their hearts. And I've had moments where I felt like I was in Zeppelin, or it's happened already.
Rick DeJesus from Adelitas Way, set to hit the stage at 6:15 at Express Live for the 5th annual Great Summer Smokeout. We are so glad you're a part of this lineup, which also includes 9 Shrines, Sick Puppies, and our headliner, Hailstorm. And all bands, as you said, Rick, are going to bring it.
It's an honor.
Thank you so much.
Thank you guys for everything you do.
Broadcasting live, your rock station, 25 years and counting, 99.7 The Blitz.